Hello, everybody. Hello, John.
Hey guys,
How are you doing on this fabulous, what day are we on? Tuesday.
Tuesday. What is it, the day before the reunion?
It is the day before the reunion, and John and I were talking the other day, and he was like, I am obsessed with the challenge this season. And I was like, John, I am obsessed with the challenge this season.
We should do a show.
We should do a show together. So, everyone, here we are. We are going to do a fun challenge show for all of you, and I know that so many of you have missed the interactiveness of shows. We got our things back, we got it up and working, so I am happy to say we are ready to interact with this show,
I mean,
John.
this show's hot. I mean, look at me. This show's hot.
This show's hot. It is on fire.
It's on
Um,
fire.
It is on fire. I love that our fire is working. Now, John, I thought like a pretty fun thing that we could do because I want
Sure.
everyone to feel included in this show
Like
is
they're in the show with us.
like they're in the show with us. I think that they should be able to pick our first segment. So, if you guys want us to discuss Fessy and Casey, you guys can go ahead and you can hashtag one, or if you want us to discuss if we think that this is Leroy's last season, you guys can go ahead and hashtag two. Now, while you guys are doing that, what one are you hoping that the chat picks, John?
Oh, of course. Um, Fessy and Casey.
Fessy and Casey. Well, so far, I am happy to report that a Fessy and Casey has 100% of the vote. People want us to discuss
Yeah.
Fessy and Casey, John.
Because
So, oh,
oh
wait,
oh,
we're changing a little bit.
wait. We know it's not Leroy's last season, right? I mean, come on. He's in too good a shape.
Well, I have a feeling, and again, you guys, wherever you are watching, you can just
Yeah.
use hashtag one or hashtag two. Hashtag one if you want us to discuss Fessy
Yeah.
and Casey. Hashtag two if you want us to discuss if it's Leroy's last season. But John, just really quickly, because we got to do what they say the show. We're not allowed to have a full-on rant about Leroy, and clearly that one's losing. So just quickly, do you think it's his last season?
No.
I don't think it's his last season either. I think he's
It can't
totally
be.
coming
No.
back.
No.
But it totally seems that the Fessy versus Casey drama from this finale, John, is what they want us to talk about. So let us go ahead and get into it. I'm going to throw it to you first, John. What were your thoughts on this? Is Fessy just being a big man child here?
He's been a total man child, unfortunately. Was I surprised that he wasn't eating at the finale? No, because he didn't eat when they were in jail either with his partner. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's got some food allergies. Maybe he's a little picky. Maybe he needs condiments like a good tartar sauce or some ketchup. We don't know. But obviously, the triple pint of blood was not enough, or appealing enough to wash it down. So, yeah, I mean, Casey was injured, but Casey's a trooper. She doesn't quit. She was eating it, talking to him with all that blood, going, "Come on, guy, have something to eat. Help me out here."
Now, I mean, Fessy has come out and said that for him, and I mean, we did see this on Big Brother, that it's kind of a religious thing of why he doesn't eat certain things, and we totally understand
Of
and
course.
respect that. They didn't really touch on it in the edit of the episode, which I wondered why. And I mean, I don't know enough about his culture to know, was that really, like, was that a factor? We know that about him because of Big Brother. I
Right.
feel like they didn't really mention it on the show if that was an issue for him.
Well, I even know with that type of religion, there's certain days like Fridays, you can't kiss on the lips or have some meat. But to me, I think, all of that's done behind the scenes. I just think, Fessy's just a little fussy when it comes to some foods.
Now I see Yuri Girl over in Twitch chat is saying, it was hard for me to watch that segment when they were doing the slow motion throwing up. I cannot be clearer. Stop showing people vomiting on television. No one wants to watch it.
I was like, can I jump from a plane again? Like it's bad enough when this is like, like this elements of Fear Factor, right? Like that
Mhm.
old show that was years ago. But I mean, yeah, the throwing up. And it's like, it's one thing to eat something, like even Leroy was saying, hey, I'm going to start with the balls because I'm more familiar with them. But why do we have to incorporate the blood? I thought I just took it to another level, seeing sweet little beautiful Amber's face just looking like a vampire. You know what I mean? And then just of course everybody throwing up. It was absolutely disgusting and I couldn't take my eyes off.
Oh, I could not watch. I was very much like,
I
nope, nope. That
I was
whole red,
I
like,
was
oh,
like
no, mm-mm. Melissa over on Twitch says I couldn't watch the blood everywhere. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Joanna's saying that they made it seem like Amber injured herself and was coughing up blood.
oh
No.
no. No.
No. I did not like it. I was not here for that. I did not like that.
I just loved the couple times with Killer Cam and Corey when they had finished their thing, and then TJ came up and go, "Okay, you're good," and then Corey, bleh. Then they got the dessert from CT and Amber, and just tosses the dessert at them, and then again, right as they finish it, he's like, "You're good, go." Bleh. I mean, it was like right on call. It was hilarious with Corey.
Well, I think that I am good. I don't know what we have to do to convince them that we don't want to see this anymore on television. But you know, do you like where do you side though ultimately on what Fessy said and did here? Because really what he was saying was, Casey, you just fell. You hurt your leg. You're not going to be able to compete. Let's take the reason I wanted to bring up the was he doing it because of his culture and his religion first was because now I want to take that off the table. Let's just say it was because it's disgusting. You're drinking blood and eating eyeballs. I kind of understand. I almost feel like Fessy was trapped, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't do it. And then we're all like, Fessy's the worst. He didn't do it. But then if he did do it, they clearly weren't gonna win. And then we would all probably be yelling at Fessy for how could you drag Casey along? Her knees busted. I feel like Fessy was trapped almost no
No.
matter what he did. Okay, go
trapped
ahead.
trapped
Disagree with
with
me. I'm ready.
trapped with his ego, maybe. But
Trapped
that's
with his ego. Okay, okay.
but that's about it. I mean, he could have just come on, let's get this done, let's drink it up. Fessy's what, 6'7". Casey, jump on my back. Finish the race. Don't be quitters. We're watching this show because we're seeing this obstacle course is insane. It's one of the most insane ones I've ever seen on TV. And the last thing we want is to see our folks quit. It's bad enough when people like Nom have to be taken out of the game because of his back, and everybody's getting these injuries and fingers broken and stuff. But when you see someone quit, especially someone who's been shooting his mouth off the whole time,
Hmm.
pick up some balls and eat them. Have some balls and then
Have
pick them
some
up and
balls.
eat them. Yeah, literally
uh,
have some balls.
right. I see that Erin over on YouTube is saying, little do they know they drank the blood and are now in a cult. Imagine now you're in the challenge cult.
The
Like
challenge
that's it.
call, yeah.
You're in the challenge cult. Yeah, I I don't know. Like I said, part of me feels for Fessy. I understand. I see everyone in the chat. Clearly, everyone is not really on Fessy's side here. Okay,
No.
you guys win. If you're not on Fessy's side,
I
then you're not on
no. And at
Fessy's
the
side.
end, when Casey's kissing the top of his head, saying it's okay, no, you're too nice. No.
Okay,
Everyone that picked Fessy regretted it.
all right, fine. Then you know what? I have a better idea, John, because I want to talk about some of the other moments from this
I love
finale.
it.
And you know what, chat? We'll let you all decide if you're feeling them or if you're not feeling them. So let's talk a little bit about this kayaking. So obviously, Casey and Fessy, they are now out. The rest of the teams are moving on to kayaking and all of that. Do you feel like you could have done this kayaking, John?
Listen, I've done kayaking for fun in the summer, right? When the sun's out and you got the heat on your face. When I saw them running down to the beach and I saw literally icebergs in the lake or wherever they were, they're in Iceland. I was like, oh my gosh, it is freezing. Like the last thing you kind of want to do when you're stepping into the kayak, you don't want to touch the water at all. But I mean, you can't help it. So I felt for them. You know, it's tough, even if you've known somebody for a while, to get that momentum going with your oar. You know, try, especially even Amber B and CT being such new partners. It was really, yeah, it was tough to watch. But Killer Cam and Corey were doing great. Yeah, I thought all of them were. That's a tough challenge.
I should have said if you guys are enjoying these next few topics that we are
Oh,
talking about, you can just type totally in the chat. Whatever chat you're watching in Facebook,
whatever.
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube,
Okay.
you can type totally. If you're not, you can just put def not.
Burp,
So,
burp, burp.
but do you feel like you would be a good kayaker, John?
I don't think I know
Oh, how? Why? Why are you so
because
confident on this?
because I do it every summer. I love it, but I'm usually by myself, so I'm usually just talking to myself, and myself and I don't have to row together. But no, it's super fun. But even like with my partner of 10 plus years, as well as
Mm-hmm.
we know each other, when we're double kayaking, it's tough. You can get a little discombobulated. And I just thought, as discombobulated as it was for CT and Amber B, they did it. Look, they pulled it out and did a great job on that. Getting
I
the buoy.
Yeah, the order stayed the same.
Yeah.
I think as this went along, we very much saw that it always maintained a CT and an Amber in the lead, followed by a Leroy and Nani, and then a Corey Cam. Now, speaking of Leroy and Nani, they couldn't turn their boat around, John.
Didn't they capsize?
They capsized. They're like, we can't get in the current. What am
How do
I
I do it?
missing?
How do I do it? What? You go left. No, I'm going left. No.
I
When they
I get.
capsized, the first thing I thought, because when you kayak, you have a
Mhm,
strap on you. So when they capsized, I thought
mhm.
they were strapped in there, and I got really scared that they could possibly drown.
No, you didn't. Did you really?
For a second, like a split hair second, like a little.
You really people are loving this. We have no definitely nots, John. They're loving it. So look, I don't do sports. I consider kayaking a sport, and then I don't really, other than you and Nicole and people I do shows with, John,
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm a good teammate. I don't know that I would be
No.
able to like left,
No.
right in rhythm, but I also don't understand why it was so hard to turn. Just like go with the current.
There's a lot of current going on,
Okay.
so you're
Was a
fighting the
tornado.
you're
Hurricane.
fighting the current a little bit. Oh, and a tornado's upon you. Plus, you've
True.
got that current from the tornado coming on you. Now you're trying to guide the boat, move forward, have a partner do it, try to read my mind. You got a lot of stuff going on. And yes, Eric, you would be a horrible partner. I would pick Nicole over you in a split second.
Let's not forget, I don't know, I feel like John and I always have to work this issue out between us every time we do a show together. But first, I will say, Max and his mom over on Twitch saying Eric would consider flower picking a sport. It is, I would consider growing the flowers a sport.
Right. I was going to say walking to the backyard, a sport.
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
Because
yes,
I mean,
walking.
even in your house, you've fallen. So I mean, that could be pretty treacherous for you.
I
So
think
I could consider getting through the day without falling is a finish line finish for you.
Now I'm just checking in to see how we are doing with an issue of contention for us over many a year, John. Are you still okay with the fact that we did not do the Amazing Race social media edition together because I knew I wouldn't be able to handle it?
That's a good question.
We could be a million. I could have taken. I basically stole $1 million from you. We would have won.
You owe me. Is that what you're saying? You owe me, and we're on a live show that's being recorded, and
Mhm.
I don't have a gun to your head because we're not in the same room.
You got a fire to
But
your head.
when I think about it, I think it would have been great experience, but then I don't know if we would still be friends. So
No, we wouldn't, because you would have been
it's a
like, "Get
yin
on
and a
the
yang.
plane," and
I
I'd be
you
like,
you
"No."
jump out of the plane. Yeah, no, I don't. My friendship with you is just so much more than $1 million.
Oh, that is so sweet, John. And you know what? That kind of leads me to, I think, what would be a great next topic. Because I think we need to check in. So
Just
here's the
check in.
thing.
Let's check
Let's
in.
check in. Let's check in with social media, John, because earlier, a few days ago, we tweeted out this great picture from the finale. A crying Casey, a downtrodden Fessy. And we asked all of you, caption this. And John, I was floored with the replies to this. I thought we would, I knew we
What?
would get a lot. I didn't know we would get a ton of people captioning this, but I
I'm
picked my top
so
three.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. I can't wait.
All right. So you ready for me to get?
Yes.
You know what? In the spirit of the challenge, I'm gonna put them in order of my most favorites. So in my number three place of favorite caption, because it throws back a little bit old school, John, I'm gonna go with Miranda, who said, This is how I looked when he broke the HOH sink off the wall. So of course, referring to Fessy, remember when he was on Big Brother and he leaned up
Yeah.
against that
And broke
sink
the sink in the bathroom.
and broke the sink in the bathroom. So shout out to Miranda for that one. I
Good
loved
job,
it.
Miranda.
Next is from Empire Beans, who said, when you show up for the field trip on time, but you forgot to have your permission slip signed.
I
Doesn't
love
it look like that?
I love the level of detail. Yes.
Yes, I loved that one as well. Now, John, people kept telling me that this one needs to be my favorite one, but I'm
Why?
not sure that I understand it, and I was hoping that you could explain it to
Of
me in a family-friendly
course.
way.
Of,
Denise
oh,
says, Casey, so now it's that picture, and she's saying this is Casey saying it.
Denise,
You
yeah.
see, this is why I don't date men. Women are better at eating. Like they eat their
Denise.
food better off of a plate, right? Like, because we're guys, we'll eat like, oh, we're picky when we eat, but not girls. They eat all their food off their plates.
Well, I think Denise is just saying that women are healthier and they have healthier appetites.
Okay, okay. I agree. Chat seems to be agreeing. They agree with us. We think that you all did wonderful captioning that. Keep them coming. I keep doing it. I was cracking up the other night. There was like, I want to say tens of thousands. That's not true, and I'm lying. But there was like hundreds of favorites and likes on it and comments. And I was
That's
scrolling through like,
amazing.
oh my goodness, I don't know which one of these to pick.
Ah, you have a
Um,
tough job.
I do have a tough job, but you know what is an easy part of the job, or not an easy part of the job, John. Not an
What?
easy part. Which I also want to say, I flipped back to this meter over here for a minute, and people are
Yeah.
getting sick of that topic.
Oh.
What is not easy is what they had to do in that ice cave, John. So after the kayaking portion,
Sleep?
as we said, the leads don't change. We still have a CT in first. We still have a Leroy coming in second, and then we have a Corey and a Cam kind of in third there at this point still. But then they had to do math problems. Who knew CT was like, my dad's a mathematician. My dad is that gif of the lady with all the numbers going across her face. And I know all math problems. I can do math in my sleep.
When it said, okay, add up all the numbers that are four ending in 4, 5, and 6, and when him and Amber went to where they looked like lockers or post office boxes, I don't know what they were, and I saw how big the numbers were, it's like I even went like, wow. And CT, who knew you could do that? I mean, what, his dad has that tech company he was supposed to take over. He just did it like that. And then someone like who I thought Amber would probably be really
Mhm.
well at isn't that good at. So it blew me away. CT blew me away.
Well, you need to put a little pin in that comment, John, because more on that later. I got an answer for us on Amber, but more on that in a bit.
Okay.
Uh CT now given the choice, John, to switch partners. TJ again saying to him, hey, you won. You deserve to be rewarded. Do you want to change partners here? And CT does not. Do we think this was a smart move on CT's part?
Considering his choices, and I mean nothing bad
Mm-hmm.
against Killer Cam
Mm-hmm.
or, yes, or, God, I'm spacing,
Leroy.
Leroy's partner. I'm spacing out.
Nani. Nani.
Nani. Yes, CT was smart. He said he needs someone who can run, and Amber obviously can run. So he says he's good at puzzles. I need a runner. I think, as we throughout the last few challenges and even up to the ones just the day before in the finale, we saw how fast Killer Cam can run and why am I spacing out on her name? And Nana.
Nani. Nani.
Nani could run, and Amber obviously could run a lot faster. So, yeah, he made the smart decision to kind of keep that going. I mean, even Amber had to slow down and go, "Come on, CT, keep up." So,
Yeah.
very, very
Now,
smart.
it was very smart. What I did not understand is what came next. We had, TJ saying, all right, based on the order that you guys did this, which we know it was a CT, again, CT coming in first and getting to pick, you're going to get the deluxe, you're going to get the bed. It has like the water feature and heating jets on it. It was like the best bed ever. That he was going to get here. And the next one was just a regular sleeping bag. And then the final one was a wool blanket in a leaky, watery cave. So, but I gotta say, as a fan of the challenge, I don't know. This wasn't as bad. They used to make them have to stand on one foot on a log in a snake pit with people shooting like honey on them with fire ants coming up. Now we're in 2021 and these people are like, oh my God, only a wool
Oh,
blanket?
listen, I think everyone's been quarantined and everyone's been a little shell shocked. So that was tough. But what I was shocked to me was you just ate raw dead balls and washed it down with blood. Really? Is this really that bad? Really? Really?
Really? Is it
Little
that bad?
water on the face? Really?
What about the dipping the face? I mean, I know that you're saying it, but what about like the dipping the
Oh,
face and the ice water? Was
loved
that just
it.
like
Oh
production
my,
maybe when we don't have
no,
enough happening?
listen, you get stressed out. your pores are opening up, you can break out. That's going to just shrink your pores just like that. It's like a nice little facelift. It'll just, I love it. And it'll wake you up. Whew, let's get up. Let's do this. Let's run. Let's go
Yeah,
to the next challenge. Yeah.
we have to. We have to go to the next one. Now, what I want to know, John, here's what I want to know.
What? What?
Okay, you ready?
What? Yeah.
We saw them in this ice cave being deprived of sleep, having a lack of food other than blood and
Oh, well, yeah.
balls,
Right.
uh, being cold, being wet, and then you gotta hold a heavy capsule. So, John, what I want to ask everybody watching, regardless of where you guys are
I'm going
watching,
to hold the heavy capsule while we
okay,
take this poll.
I'm gonna hold the heavy capsule in I'm gonna hold a Snapple bottle and a box of tissues, which I probably think are heavier
I'm going
than
to
the
hold
giant
some
thermos.
gummy vitamins and a capsule.
Seriously, you guys in wherever chats you're watching, use hashtag A if lack of sleep would have been the hardest for you, hashtag B if it would have been lack of food, C for cold, D for wet, and E if it would have been holding a heavy object as the hardest thing for you guys here.
And hurry.
Now,
Yeah, my hands are getting tight. Hurry.
here's the thing about it, John. Well, they are voting on that.
Yes.
I don't understand. I feel like the capsule was really and truly just like a giant thermos. You know what I'm saying? Like, did it not look like that? It looked like one of those like Yeti tumbler things
Or
that
like
had
a
the hot,
time capsule that you did in high school that you
right?
buried. Yeah.
I am not believing chat right now with 75% of the vote going to holding a heavy object.
I think this did it.
Unless they're being led by the witness, where I'm saying I don't believe it was very
Well,
heavy.
listen. Here's chat, and I'm agreeing with chat because they know what they're talking about. You're
Okay.
tired, you're fatigued, you're watching your partner just lay there with their eyes closed, and you're getting mad, and it's like, oh no, not only do I have to stand there and look at you, but I gotta hold this too.
Mhm.
Oh, now I'm even more fatigued and my arms hurt. And yeah, no, Chap's right. Heavy object all the
You think
way.
it's heavy object. I don't know that I believe them with no one picking lack of sleep or lack of food or being
Oh,
cold.
lack of sleep is a Monday through Friday. I'm used to that already.
Lack of sleep is a Monday through Friday. I do agree with that.
I'm
I
doing the
agree.
show on lack of sleep. Come on.
True, 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 true. Okay, so, John, another.
Yes, yes.
Here's what I want to do because
Mm-hmm.
I know that we are trying to go through this show quickly. We're trying to get everybody's opinions, but I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
take a quick break because what I wanted to know was what people's top moments of the episode were. So now, for me, John, for me, I kind of picked what I thought were my top three moments, but I am curious to see what chat thinks was their top moments from this whole entire season. So is it CT betraying Big T? Is it, which would be a hashtag A? Would it be a hashtag B, Devin being anti-Team Big Brother? Or would it be hashtag C, Fessy ultimately quitting on the finale? Now, as those answers are coming in, John, which one would you pick? Now
As
remember,
far
we had CT being like
well,
sweet,
no,
precious. Go
no.
ahead.
Listen, I love Big T, and I mean, she was so heartbroken when
Heartbroken.
CT left her side and went to
Right.
another teammate. And I don't know if it's a favorite moment of mine. Fessy quitting the finale. No, Devin saying Big Brother sucks was so funny.
No, no, Big Brother does not suck, and CT betrayed me. I
You're just
loved him.
you're just sad you're not in the alliance because you're not a Big Brother a past house guest.
CT, the way you tackled me in that hallway is like you're tackling my heart, and now I can't win.
I am the grudge holder, and I'm going to hold this grudge forever.
Or at least until 2 more episodes when you pick me back, and then I'll forgive you, but say I'm gonna play
Right.
it a wee bit hard.
We'll have to discuss that in the reunion, CT. Go on.
Go on, CT. Well, it seems like an overwhelming 62% of the vote is going to Fessy ultimately quitting during the finale as being a thing that people thought was one of their favorite moments from the season. No.
Yeah.
You had to think about it? Did like your record skip? You would just like, you're floored at the chat, John.
I was more shocked when Lolo quit than Fessy. So
Well, now she did not quit, John, if we believe, what Lolo has been out there saying. Lolo's been out there saying, I was told to leave. You know, the way you get told to leave a show.
right, or a restaurant when you don't pay.
Did they just ask you to leave when you don't pay? I don't know if
They
that's you're like, is that an
they
option? Because then
don't
I'll
even
go and
want.
eat at some nice restaurants.
They
And if
don't
they're just
even.
gonna ask me to leave.
They
What?
don't even want me to do the dishes. They just say leave. Can you just
They're,
leave?
can you just leave, please? Just leave our
I'm like,
restaurant.
just
That
let me finish my blood and then I'll leave. And they're like, can you just leave?
Can you just leave us alone? Um, I loved it. Was there now, granted, I skewed that poll for, what I kind of thought were the top three moments, but was there any moments that you loved from this season, John? I know that you are someone that doesn't watch it week by week. You kind of wait until they're all done and
I
then you
do.
binge watch them. So
Hmm.
I feel like you're more current on everything that happened to me. Was there any top moments for you this season?
The ones that pop into my head is when Big T won the game against Anessa and
Okay, right, right, right.
finally got her skull. She was like the last one to get it. Just that sense of pride on her face. She's so sweet. I just want to hug her and just give her a big kiss on the cheek. Another one I just thought was insane was when Kyle broke his finger and they ran into that hallway of doom, the way they charged each other, it was insane. Like those moments were like, I just
I I have to say when oh my god, when Kyle, now his name escaped my brain, when Kyle did that hall brawl with CT, right? And then he just kind of came out of it. Now again, I am very good at avoiding what not
Kyle.
to look at cuz it's coming. The way
Yeah.
they snuck that in there of him just like holding up his hand and his like finger like being in like that
Oh yeah.
direction, I was
I can't
like,
even do it.
again, I don't know why you think we want to see that. If you are sitting at home right now and you are
Which
like, you know
we
what
are.
I would just love to see right now is if Eric somehow bashed his hand into that desk and then his gnarled bones were just on.
Yeah,
You need to
no.
find Jesus. I don't understand why they think we want to see that, John.
I don't know after a long work day if I want to go, what do I want to watch on TV? People barfing up blood? Hmm. Remote challenge, please. In my on
I
demand.
Yeah, I do have to say that to go back for 1 second, I did laugh.
Sure.
Debbie Dawn said on YouTube, or it's more like getting bounced out of a bar for fighting for
Yeah.
fighting with with
When
them.
being asked to leave. Yeah.
I do have to say to give a shout out to Nicole. If you guys want to see, we talked to Big T about this. We talked to who else did we talk to? We talked to a bunch of the challenge people this season. So you guys can go ahead and check those shows out if you're curious on any of the moments or any of what they were thinking in our past recap shows. You can check those out. Um what did you think of Lolo's partner though this season, John?
Well, physically, my gosh, it was
Mhm.
just. I mean, I just every time I thought I took it all in, then there was just different angles that
Mhm.
reminded me that I had not. and,
You
but
had
I
not.
think yes, by all what 15 episodes before he left, I got it. It was great. I felt bad about his back though.
I did as well. We did an interview with him, and John, he cried.
I believe it because he's a sensitive, real person. I love
He
him.
is. He 100% is. I love him. So, all right, John, I want to talk for a second about the actual end of this finale episode, which of course is the race to the finish line. Now, they tried to double switcheroo us, John. They tried to act like CT and Amber went off the track. We're not going to get to catch up with them. We're not going to know what really happened. Were you falling for this switcheroo edit, John?
I was I was doing something multitasking as it was on. I look up, I see Amber's feet. It's her camera, Amber B cam. Oh my, is it over here? Is it over there? And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You've won every single challenge and now you're getting lost. Oh, the trail's over here when what? The challenge literally points out and highlights the arrow where it is on the screen.
Yeah.
It scared me for a second. A little, just a eensy beensy little second. And then I was like, this is no BS. They're going to, no, no, they're not
Here's the
lost.
thing. It scared me. It did scare me for a second. Liza over on Facebook saying, I want to see it. I think she meant she wanted to see the broken bones. But
Yes.
Liza, um, I feel like I wasn't buying it because I think if they were that close, we would have seen them in the shots when there was the Leroy and the Cam, the Leroy and the Nani, the
Right.
Cam and the Corey trying to catch up. Every time there was a far away shot, we never saw them. We never saw CT and Amber in any of them.
Here's where I got a little confused because before that, we're in the kayak. CT's doing his side interviews, with Amber. She's, a little bit scatterbrained and, can't really have to keep her on track. And then you see Amber going, okay, left one, left two, like not even scatterbrained at all. So going back to being lost, we're at Amber's perspective and she can't find it. And where's the sign? And do you see the arrow? So I thought, is this the scatterbrained that CT's talking about? Is this what's happening? This is Amber B. And then we hear CT, well, we gotta head back. We gotta retrace our steps or however. And
I
and then
think
of
that's
course,
hysterical that you think that's how CT sounds. You've made
well,
him like an ogre.
I was, well, I would just mumble, but then no one would know. We'd have to put in closed captioning. But no, and then we see CT saying, we got to let's go, we have to go back. And then of course they're back on track. So no, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Starlet over on YouTube brings up a good point, which is why I think they did that. Natalie from Big Brother 18, when she was on the challenge, I believe she was partnered with Paulie for that challenge. She got lost, and it ended up being like a pretty big, like it led to a big fight between her and Paulie because ultimately, if I recall correctly, it's what got them the boot.
Mm.
It is what got them the boot. I see just Zuri over on Twitch is saying, I'm excited for Kyle and his baby on the way. Kyle, gonna be a dad, John.
Oh my gosh, Kyle is so funny. At first, I was like, "Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I don't like what he says." And then it's like, when you take out, oh, just stop taking it personal, John, and just relax. Oh my gosh, he's hilarious. Devin, I thought was hilarious too. Congratulations, Kyle. You're a good-looking guy. Of course, you're gonna have babies, lots of them.
Well, this brings me to, our next segment, John, which I thought we should take a little break. Speaking of, Kyle in the real world, we should take a little break and see what these people are up to on their social
Mm,
medias, John.
let's do that.
And
Oh,
you know what I
Leroy.
found out? Not a lot. These people don't like to tweet on Twitter, apparently. However,
They're
like
working
none of
out.
them, nothing from Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. These are the most current tweets I could find from the cast. So I'm going to start out with Leroy. Thank you, Leroy. He's kind of having a little back and forth with Johnny Bananas, and he's saying, "Whether I play or not again, our friendship is a win. I love you." I did not know that the Leroy and Johnny Bananas were BFFs.
They're all BFFs. They all love each other.
All right. Next up, we have Devin, which I can't be surprised, who said Fessy's a cornball.
I'd
He's
like
not
to.
feeling. Yeah,
I'd
go
like
ahead.
to see Fessy eat a cornball. That's what I want to see.
I'm pretty
Something.
sure so would Casey. But it didn't work out that way. Now, here is what Amber has now come out and said, which is back in the beginning of the episode, John, when I said, stick a pin in it, I'm going to fill you in. So, Amber basically tweeted out and saying, because a lot of people have been giving her a hard time for her not doing well in these math problems. And she said, y'all, I know I suck at math. Ha ha ha. I have what's called dyscalculia, aka number dyslexia. It's a
Oh.
disability that I have lived with my whole entire life. Literally have always struggled. It's not my strong suit, but I tried my hardest. So now don't you feel horrible
Oh.
for making fun of poor Amber?
Well, I was just like, Dracula, Drew. No, of course I
Dracula.
had a Drew on the end. I wasn't making fun of Amber, but I
No,
was
not
just
you. I was kidding.
right. But I was just shocked that it just seemed like she was kind of freezing in the moment, and now we know why. And you know what? I now have learned something new because I did not know about that. When you think of dyslexia, you just think of just a big blanket, right?
Right.
Where it's got many different
Yeah.
disorders
Well,
within it.
I'm dyslexic and I mean, I didn't know there was a specific one for numbers, but I am horrible with numbers. I often read the numbers and I always flip them around. So
Mm.
I'm on board with that. But I also do it with words. I constantly leave words out of sentences that I think I have the word there, and I can read that sentence 12 times, and my brain's just filling it in, but the
Wow.
word's not there. So I didn't know it was a thing. But speaking of maybe not having brains. The last person I would like to check in with, John, is Fessy's tweets. He, unlike the rest of his cast, has been tweeting a ton about this finale. So now I want your opinion, John. So one of his first tweets are, if you And I think he means if you are threatened by someone's confidence rather than inspired, take a look in the mirror. You can do anything you want in this world. You just gotta believe, even when they don't.
I believe that I don't quit things and I can finish them at the best way that I can.
I mean, it was a little interesting of a, like,
Hmm.
I
It's
don't know,
a little
Fessy.
bit of gaslighting there, a little bit. It's just like,
It's like you quit,
but you quit.
but you quit. So you
There's,
tweeted it out,
yeah, we're
then you
not
quit.
really like, oh, okay, we don't have confidence. Let me look in the mirror. Well, I have confidence to know that I don't quit.
Okay, so now, John, his
Yes.
next tweet
Oh,
is,
good.
guess what? He's talking right back to you now, John. He says,
Good.
I'm not on the challenge to be liked. I'm on the challenge to compete for $1 million.
Hmm.
Broken up however they see fit and don't tell you until the time
Well,
comes to get your
I
million
agree.
dollars.
It's. I agree with Fessy. You're not there to make best friends, but I think out of the partners that you had, they should at least like you. To help pull you forward to get that million. Just
Right.
a thought.
And last tweet, so my first season I was too quiet and now I'm too loud. In the beginning of the season I was soft and scared of elimination, and now I volunteered for two and I'm too cocky and only win physical eliminations. Y'all are confusing the hell out of me.
Let me unconfuse you. Go back to your previous season attitude.
Go back to the previous season. Fessy, you know
Confusion
people
done.
you know,
You
you're
know,
from the Big
come on.
Brother world. You know the way social media is, Fessy.
I
They want
know.
humble, they want kind,
I
they don't want you
know.
being like, I'm gonna
Listen,
destroy you.
Fessy is a tall, dark, and handsome, good-looking guy. But after this season, I can see why he's single.
Yeah, I'm poor Haley. Poor Haley.
That's
Uh,
right, Haley.
Who is
Oh,
so gorgeous, by the way. I just saw another
gorgeous. Just
picture of
dodged a
Haley.
bullet. Yeah.
I am just like, you're stunning. I'm like, I'm gay and you're stunningly beautiful, Haley.
You're
Okay.
gay?
Well, John, I think as we're approaching the end of this show, I don't know where the hour went. Uh,
What?
I want to ask chat, are you guys happy with the winner? So
Oh,
are
this is
you happy they
exciting.
tried to trick us with a switcheroo ending, but it turns out they cannot trick us with a switcheroo ending. The CT and the Amber win, is that something that you all were happy with? You can leave your yeses and your nos in the chat, and they will all start registering in a minute. While they're doing that, John, yes or no? Were you happy with the winners?
Heck yeah. When I
Okay,
was
you are.
starting, yeah. Is that all I get? Is that the
No, you're allowed to be. You're allowed to. I gotta say no. I wanted Leroy to
Listen,
win, but I'm gonna let you go first.
listen, of course I wanted Leroy to win. It's his last season. It's his last
Mm-hmm.
season, so I wanted him to win. No, and I thought him and Cam's strategy, having two different partners, I think Cam is a great strategist too. I know I really underestimated Amber B. I mean, she just kind of like, wasn't, you know, that memorable as far as challenges and stuff in the Big Brother house. She was talking a lot of, oh, let's all be best friends type of thing. But when it came to stand up and do this,
Mm-hmm.
boy, she did it. I could not believe how she's gorgeous, first of all, and how tough she is. My gosh, when she set her mind to it, having such a new partner, I think is difficult. Having
Mm-hmm.
CT as a partner, I think is difficult. And she had to go through all of those things really quickly and did it and powered through it. I thought I was really happy with the winners.
I was really happy with the winners as well. I think that, yes, they deserved it for all the reasons that you said, but
Hmm.
then there is the emotional part of me that wants a Leroy. Like, if it really is his last season, I would have liked to have seen him have a win if
Of
it really is
course.
his last season.
Well, we heard Cam talking about like Leroy wants it because he's got his two daughters to take care of. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, does somebody have separate checking accounts? Like, what is happening here?
Hmm.
But at least here's the thing: Cam got $50,000, which I think is phenomenal. And another thing that Killer Cam brought up too is every woman was of color, right? Which was
Yep.
amazing in the final. In fact, I think CT was the only human of that was just white. That and everyone else was of color. So I thought
Yeah.
that was amazing. And Anessa was happy to be a part of that. And of course, Killer Cam brought it up in her side thing. So I thought that the diversity was really exciting to see for me as well.
It was very exciting to see the diversity, and I know that I am horrible when I am not telling the people in the chat. You didn't need to use the hashtags for the you didn't need to use the hashtags for the poll. You could just type in
Oh, good.
your yeses or your nos as you all want in the chat. But John,
Maybe on split screen.
I know you're split screen. I'm just gonna come back over here for a minute because it's just messed up, but it's fine. Um,
I'm
here's
in a
the
box.
thing. Here's the thing.
Yes.
Uh, if you would you do the challenge, I guess is the question.
If they had an older person challenge,
Sure, if they had an older
right?
person challenge, would you
Like
do
run,
it?
yeah, like run around the golf course, jump over a log, catch a frisbee.
You would do all of it.
Listen, I would jump out of a plane, even though I'm
Okay.
scared to death. But I
Okay.
think with all the safety precautions, I would do it. That would be challenging to me, kind of a bucket list. Fighting on top of a truck looked fun. Dangling from a helicopter on a netting thing looked fun. The glass of blood was the only thing that I was like, I could never do the challenge ever.
But like I still say and I still maintain, I don't think that you actually needed to drink it is the thing.
Well, you could put it in your mouth and throw it up, and then your glass would be a little more empty. I don't want to put blood in my mouth and throw it up when I've got raw dead balls in my mouth as well. Like that was, I would be like, okay, can I do anything else?
I
Waterboard me, do something.
do you think that I would do it? I'm curious from the
No.
chat. Yes or no, chat. You can just put yes or no. Do you guys think that I would drink blood for $1 million? What do you think they're gonna say, John?
They're going to say yes.
You do think that they think I'm going to drink blood for $1 million?
Well, everybody knows how poor you are. So, yeah.
Well, John, I am happy to say that chat knows me better than you. They know
Oh!
I'm not going to do it.
Listen, I would be shocked if you walked across the street because your Amazon package was delivered to your neighbor. Like, that would be surprising.
That would be a little bit surprising. I do agree. No, people are correct. I would not drink it for $1 million, John. I would not. I would not do it.
I'm very proud of you.
Why? That's horrible.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I was
I'm
gonna
not proud of
say,
you.
I would love $1 million, so I would want to do that very much, John. Well, overall, what do you think, John? Do you think that are you excited for another season of the challenge coming back? Because I have a
Mm,
bit of breaking news on that.
I'm so excited. Again, you know what? This is my first real season that I got into.
Hmm.
And I really got into it. I really, really enjoyed it. I loved the games. It wasn't just in some backyard, in some closed environment with some, puppets and stuff where you got to find the ball in the pool. No, this was like some crazy ass stunts and challenges. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, as we wrap this show up, John, I have news for you. Guess what?
What?
According to the Reddits and the spoiler blogs, the current season's production has been halted. There has apparently been a COVID-19 outbreak, if we are to believe the Reddits and the spoilers and all of those places. Apparently, yeah, there's been some sort of a scandaloso, and they had to stop production.
No.
So I don't know if it's gonna start back up or what's gonna happen with it, but yeah, that is where we are at. Will we have another season of the challenge? Stay tuned. John, I want to end this show the way I end all of our shows. First,
By
by
just cutting me
thanking
off.
chat. No, by
By
thanking
just dropping
chat.
me.
No, never. I want to thank chat and thank you guys for participating in all the polls and the meters and your comments. We saw them all and we loved them. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe wherever you guys are watching these shows. And John, where can they follow you on social media?
All over social media at Comedy Jonah.
John, I want to give you final thoughts.
Great season of the challenge. Loved that. I thought the team that deserved to win the 900,000 won. I loved everybody's passion, how everybody stepped up except Fessy, and I can't wait for the next season.
Same here. Until our next show, we will see you guys all then. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.